Hi.
Hey guys,
Are we live? We're live. It's been
we
a
are
while.
live.
Seems like it's been forever.
Yeah, it does. This side of the
Tornadoes.
country, hurricane, tornadoes, natural disaster, and you guys have had some illness, and we are
Oh yeah,
back.
and other things too, other obstacles. But that's nothing new for us. And that's
Oh
just
yeah.
something that happens. And
Well,
okay, this is Jennifer, and she's our guest for the show here for the time being, and she's witnessed some interesting events throughout the years. I should have like let her. I should have given her a heads up on what she was getting involved in. You know, when
yeah.
kind of did, yeah. But it's one of those things you just got to experience it to actually appreciate it.
Yeah, you
Um,
actually do.
yes. So you want to talk a little bit about what you've been dealing with, Gwen, just for a minute before we sort of show off about the absolute. Reminds me of a war zone. The pictures do in the films down there.
Yeah, I live in the South in South Carolina, and we had the hurricane, and I heard tornado, but I've not heard the official report. There was terrible. We still have people without power and water, and if you know somebody that might live here, check on them. Please check on them because they need it. And
Yeah,
it's getting back to normal. Yeah, it's getting back to normal. My thing is mostly normal. We still have people that don't have what they need. So, like I said, if you know somebody, check on them, please, because they could use it. Even just a word. It's a lot of damage still left down here. So, and your babies are telling me, hey, too, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ringo. We don't know what that's all about. But yeah. So our prayers go out to those people down there and
Thank you.
down where you're at. Hopefully, they can get things going back on track.
Oh yeah.
All that for those that lost loved ones. Anyhow, now back to the show.
Exactly.
Well, what was your outlook on the paranormal before you got involved with me?
Well, I believed that there was something out there, but I never really experienced anything. I've always believed in God and angels and demons but never experienced anything firsthand. I think Chad and I had only been seeing each other for a couple weeks when things started happening for me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Ever since. The first time that anything ever happened, he was over at a neighbor's house, and I still had a flip phone, and anytime I would flip the phone open, I would see in the reflect. What's going on?
That was weird.
It's like a glitch or something.
Okay.
It could be our connection. We don't have the best Wi-Fi connection right now.
All right.
The reflection.
Yeah, the reflection. And then, and I thought, okay, well, maybe it's just, I'm just making something out of nothing until I saw it move.
Oh.
And so I called Chad and said, get home.
You got some marks on you too.
That was a different time.
Oh, that was the same time.
That was a different time. Actually, he was down in Portland and he was meeting with somebody about doing it. You were doing an interview, was it?
It was an investigation. It was going to be an investigation or an interview. Oh yeah, it was for the news. It was a meteorologist.
And I had fallen asleep, and when I woke up, I had bite marks like right up here on my chest.
Oh,
and you
goodness.
could actually see it didn't look like fangs or anything creepy like that, but it was like crooked teeth, and you could see each tooth mark.
Oh wow.
And I had some scratches on my arm, but so that kind of tripped me out.
Just curious, did those things happen when you were by yourself both times?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
there's been many times that he's gone on investigations that things start messing with me here.
Oh yeah, they're opportunists. Yeah. They like to do that.
Yep.
but it's to the point now where it just doesn't even bother me. If things start acting up, he'll come home and be like, "So did anything happen?" Well, let me think about it. I really noticed, and then I'll think about it later. Oh yeah. So
it's amazing what you get used to. Yeah.
It is. There's always something, up to no good,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it is. It's all part of the
and
job.
And they know you're going. Yeah, they know you're going places and doing stuff, and they do. Yeah. They know it.
Like recently we went on an investigation where this thing was masquerading as a little girl, and I'm at the point now I leave the audio and equipment running when we're in the car and on the way back, because usually if something's following you, I don't make its presence known. And this little girl was singing this little song about being evil. Remember that? I got on audio.
It goes, "I'm so evil."
Oh my goodness.
And then it said something about gotcha, like when I walked in, but it's like, it didn't stick around long. That you better be evil, because I've got a lot of experience with evil stuff. So, no, this is no joke. There's a lot of people that sensationalize about the demonic stuff, but I'm the real deal. I actually deal with it, on a daily basis. So, there's a lot of, I remember back when it was politically incorrect to mention demons, and then it became correct, and now I don't know where it's at now. It's kind of like on the fence, but no, I mean, there's no sensationalizing. I don't get it out, but about it, but yeah, no, the things I deal with are evil, and it's it's a whole different side of the paranormal.
It is.
It's why they make horror movies about the stuff.
Yeah, but, they do. Yeah, exactly. So
you got to have a certain mentality, I guess, to deal with it.
You do.
It's if you take the mystery out of it, it's not so scary. Just imagine a dirtbag but invisible. We're good.
Well, if they were bad in life, they're not going to be nice in death. They're just not. Nope.
Some of these things are without a doubt not human. I mean, the way their behavior, not at all. But anyway, the little girl didn't stick around long. She decided to go. So.
Well, she didn't like you driving, right?
Well, no, I mean, that was after she got here. No, it just doesn't go well, for them to. Okay, anyway, next.
Oh, I was gonna say I actually had some masquerade as Chad before.
Oh no, that would be weird.
And he was here too. I was in the shower.
That's pretty generic.
And we have one of the shower doors that it's see-through, but it's that like modeled, so you can't
really distorts everything.
Yeah, you can't see detail.
Yeah.
And I was washing my hair and I looked over and I saw this figure standing on the other side of the shower door, and it had same color shirt and jeans on, or pants that he had on. And same color hair. And then I realized, wait a minute, because I could see his hair over the top of the shower door, and that's when it hit me. Chad's not that tall.
But the weird part is it was solid enough that you could see the hair,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At first I thought it was him and he was just trying to scare me. He was going to, or maybe dump a glass of cold water on me, something. I thought he was trying to mess with me. And when I realized that hair was sticking up over the top of that shower door, and which is almost to the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
And I said, no, he's not that tall. And my heart just sank. And then I saw something moving, and it was a hand moving towards the shower door. And I just started praying out loud, and the hand went back, and it disappeared. And I came out of the shower, and I told him about it, and he's, what? Because usually things like that, would happen if he wasn't here. Yeah. But I've had things happen when he was here, but that was pretty freaky.
We've heard all kinds of noises. Like remember that time we got up in the morning and the things like, hey, right in between us, or good morning or something. Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's always, I mean, I'm not surprised by much. There's always something manifesting, then it's like then it's gone or something. It's weird.
It's just a part of life now anymore.
But
So
yeah,
I do have one question. We hadn't
Sure.
talked. I know you guys deal with mostly the bad, but
Mhm.
do you? I don't know. Have you ever looked into? Do you have a spirit guide or anything that helps you deal with the
I
bad?
haven't looked into that because what I do is dangerous, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that would masquerade as something that isn't
Yes.
harmful. So I have to
Yes.
be careful about that. I have to be careful what I
Exactly.
open myself up to,
Yes.
because if I did, all I'd have to do is kind of mess up one time, and that's all it would
Yeah.
take for something to, really, make me have a bad day, to say the least.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just curious because most of us who are in the, and I won't say darker side. I'm not real. I know some folks, but like I do. Of course, Lee, who's the station belongs to, she does, and Blaine, who was on your show, and
Right.
all
Right.
that. So just curious. I know things are different, and
This is how I view things. I view things a little differently. Like, I don't even pray for protection when I go out, because I'm out looking for it.
yeah,
And the way I see it is, there's a thin line between just to mocking the powers that be, thinking I'm
Yeah.
invincible because I ask for protection. All I do is I ask that nothing harms the ones I love. That's all I ask.
there you go. Yeah, that's all.
So,
Now, as far as your house, do you do any kind of protection thing there?
oh yeah, I do prayer mainly because it seems to work really well.
Yes.
And I pray that that things aren't allowed to enter my home or affect the ones I love, and
Even though they try.
Oh yeah, they try. They do try. They're gonna try you. That's what they do.
Pretty successful. So, yeah, but because I've heard stories of people that are really confident in the protection that they're using,
Mm-hmm.
but these forces, you want to have you don't want to become too arrogant. Is what I've learned.
Okay.
And so
there are some folks that
no one
do.
can do what I do. It's like,
Yeah.
I have to have a disclaimer, because it's like, if you go out and taunt these things, this can be hazardous to your health, everything.
Yeah.
Life can be turned upside down. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why my life's turned upside down. You think about that? No.
So have you guys had anything recent in the last, I guess, month or so y'all been on?
Little girls is recent.
That was close.
Happened. Yeah, just happened.
Nothing like major.
I'm trying to
for
think.
me, it's been.
Is there anything that's happened lately? There's been some.
Oh, at work, I saw that.
Oh yeah. You saw that thing, that apparition or whatever.
Like I said,
but you never know.
Get it everywhere.
But that place is known to be haunted. There's other employees that said it was haunted.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, there's only 2 other employees. Well, now we're down to just me and one other. It's this little market.
Okay.
It's population of like 400 people. So you only need one of us.
Yeah, we live in a real
very small area.
metropolis.
But one of the girls that was working there, she had something was changing labels on her when she was trying to do inventory. And she said that she just always got an eerie feeling there. And I told Chad, I said, I don't feel like anything's here. Nothing ever gave me the creeps or anything like that. And then one day I was standing next to our thing that's got all of our lettuce and tomato and everything that we put on our burgers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was putting a burger together, and I just all of a sudden got this feeling like something was watching me. And I looked over, and there was a figure standing there in the doorway. But it was so quick, it was there and then it was gone. I had described it as like subliminal messages, like when you see how they do it in commercials, how it's just that blip.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
And I've seen that blip in my house a couple times, but
yeah, but you get detail out of it. I've only seen detail a couple of times when seeing apparitions. Like, I never see, like, she's like, oh yeah, I was wearing a checkered shirt and big rim glasses, and it's like, what the hell? Like, how do you? I've never seen detail like that.
I catch it just long enough but not long enough to catch all the detail. Like,
but enough,
yeah. The one at the store, the guy, looked like a man's figure and was wearing like a baby blue button-up shirt that was unbuttoned and shorts, and that was all that I caught of it.
The guy was on vacation. Remember joking around about him?
Yeah, he was on vacation.
Surfer shorts and stuff. Well, you know, really, but I mean, and I have a big question about maybe you can help me out with this.
Yeah.
Why do they wear clothes?
In my head, okay, for instance, I have a person I know that passed away, and I was super close to him, still grieving them. When they showed themselves to me, they showed me, we worked in a place together, and they showed me what they looked like then.
Is that just so you can relate to who it is?
I think that was the time that we were the first connected as friends, and cared for each other and stuff. And they show me that age, that time,
like an identifiable thing, right? Like that. This is who this is because this is what I was wearing, kind of thing.
Yeah, and also, my brother does the same thing. He shows me himself. When I would have been about 18. He looks just about like that, but he was very sick before he died. So maybe that's for me, Okay.
So
but yeah,
does he still appear sick?
No. Oh no, he looks like he did when I was about 18 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he shows me. I guess that was maybe I'm not sure why, and it would be interesting to find out, but that's how he shows himself to me. And
I would
things like that.
It have something to do with them being at the peak of their life, probably.
Yeah,
right?
maybe that was their happy. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they're healthy
and a comfort for you, because like I know that
exactly,
like my grandpa, when he passed away, he was in not
my dad too.
Good condition, and that's not how I would want him to appear to me.
Right, because that's something you can't really get out of your head.
Yeah.
Hello, Richard. How are you doing?
Richard is his group is EVP, and he is probably going to have a show on the network also.
Oh, right.
So hey, Richard. Yeah.
How you doing, bud?
Yeah. So he's a ghosty person like we are, or whatever you would like to call us. Yeah. He's one of us.
People call it,
yeah,
colorful names, but you know what? Hey, no, I think our field of research is getting more and more attention and being
more
accepted and validated as time goes on, because like I said, it's hard. I mean, I truly believe that everybody's had an experience if they think about it.
Well, we always go back to that. People can deny it and that don't exist, and then that's the person that's going to come up to you and go, I don't believe in that stuff. Yeah, but I've had one time, or this place, or hey, I got somewhere you can go.
That's famous.
Yeah.
And and like what you were doing for work, your line of work, there's that denial in the supernatural. Do you think that's a coping mechanism? Do you think for a lot of people in the medical field, that they got to deal with it every day, so they don't really want to think of it like that?
Yeah, I do.
It's pretty,
Well, like me, I was a medic. I don't know what you guys all know, but I know Chad knows I was a medic for years, and I didn't tell many people. When I did, I either got the "oh no," or "you're freaking me out," or or "you're crazy." Yeah.
Well,
so I denied it. And now I just don't anymore. And I'm
because they start blaming you, because if you mention it, they blame you for the experience.
Yes.
Like you're part of you're the issue.
Yeah. Or like you did something. You did. No.
Yeah. Exactly. And
love
it's
that.
That's what's messed up about people like that. It's portions of reality are not somebody's fault. You know, and it's just the way that people, the things people tell themselves just to get up out of bed and go to work every day,
Yeah, exactly.
So that they can't face certain realities, which I don't understand how that works. But
I appreciate that. If that's not their thing, that's fine. But
right. But it's a form of persecution, though. Like if you went to something legitimate that you can't explain, they'll like shun you, like you're creating the phenomenon, or however, the blame game. But it's that.
Except in my case, it is his fault.
Well, it is.
It's all you, Chad. It's all you.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, because that's different. Well, it kind of is. But as far as somebody out there dealing with death, and there was a doctor one time that talked to me, and he's like, well, I just haven't seen the evidence of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, now, if you saw evidence, could you do your job? And it's kind of sat there and like looked at me with this blank stare.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, if you saw evidence that this stuff's real, could you do your job the next day? And he couldn't answer.
Yeah.
So,
well,
so that's,
it's,
because
it's
I
amazing.
can understand that, it's kind of black and white. But,
Right.
but is that a skeptic? No. Are there anybody out there that truly does not believe to any extent?
Maybe, but there's long as here's what I think. You may not believe what I do, but let me believe what I want to, and if you don't like it, just let me be. Just let me be.
Yeah, to each their own. No, that's my
exactly.
But
yeah, because there's some people
they blame you for it.
Yeah, so exactly.
They don't have that attitude. So it'd be great if everybody had that attitude, but they don't.
No, they don't.
We got talking about friends of ours over the years.
Oh yeah.
Not one of them is skeptical anymore. Not one.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. No, I was trying to think of it this morning. I was like, no, is there anybody that we know that was skeptical? They'll come in skeptical and they end up leaving non-skeptical. It's like, yeah, because all of them want to experience it. And, like I told them, I said, this isn't like a ride at an amusement park, It's not something that we're going to do for entertainment. But, like I've had people really pressure me to take them out, and then when it's all said and done, they're.
Remember on New Year's Eve that one girl that.
Oh yeah. Tell Esther that's a good one. This is last New Year's.
We went out to this cemetery.
Well, the girl pressed for it though. Remember, she wanted to go. She wanted to go out because she didn't believe in that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so we took her out, and she said, she'd never experienced anything. She wanted to try to experience something. So we took her to a cemetery that had been pretty active, and oh my gosh, we kept hearing the sound, like, because it's out like in the middle of like a field, like a wheat field out here. Mm-hmm. And so there's just dirt roads around us, and we kept hearing this sound. It sounded like
wagon wheels.
Like wagon wheels going down the.
Well, and this is also part of the Oregon Trail. You want to include that?
Yeah. So. This area is the Oregon Trail goes right through here, and it sounded like wagon wheels coming down the road, and it sounded like it was right there, and people are. Her and this other guy that were out there with us, they were drinking and feeling good and thought that she was gonna get mouthy, and we kept wondering what this thing was that we were hearing, because we wouldn't see anything. So she was gonna get gutsy and walk towards where it was coming from. Oh. And we were all sitting in the pickup, and she's out there, and you can hear her just laughing, and then all of a sudden. And we've got this whole thing on audio.
Blood-curdling scream.
Blood-curdling scream.
Oh, no.
It comes running back to the rig. And she's like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. And
she's like, I thought this stuff was just on TV. I didn't know it was in real life.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, it was great. Yeah, she was pretty drunk. She would have sobered her right up.
Yeah, it sobered her up, and she was not.
Oh yeah, I told her friend about it and said, "Oh," but then again, I got blamed for it,
Yep.
And
oh my goodness, yeah, of course you did.
Oh yeah, my fault. The out there.
Of course.
Yeah, no, everything's my fault. But yeah, but no, but they're.
I should find that picture that I took out there.
Pretty real stuff. Okay, so why don't you? Okay, let's talk about what happened to you. That's pretty significant here.
Oh yeah. Please.
Okay, so why don't we tell that story?
Okay. So this was back about eight years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
7 or 8 years ago now. Unfortunately, I had an ex-boyfriend that I had gotten into some trouble with. Well, I got hindering prosecution because I wouldn't answer the door.
Oh, no.
So, I was put on probation and stuff, and I didn't check in, so I got put in jail. And when I was in there, usually when I go in, I try to be positive and bring other women to the more positive sides of life, and introduce them to God and the things that we shouldn't mess with, because there was something in that jail too, and they would try to say that what it was good.
A lot of these people were practitioners of like black magic, Santeria. They were the it was ICE. It was where all the foreigners, where all the immigrants were.
The jail was a hold for the ICE holds, the immigration.
So you're dealing with people from all over the world here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in there with women that were in there for murder, from Ukraine and El Salvador,
Africa.
I mean, from everywhere.
Yeah.
So there was all kinds of
culture mix there.
Yeah, culture mix. Well, so fast forward, this woman comes in, and she had the same name as me, and she was very charismatic.
One day, though, that's all she had to serve was one day. It's kind of important, because she seeked you out. No, but this is a detail. Just help me with the story. This is kind of an important detail.
Yeah, she told me she had to do 24 hours for a DUI. And she immediately engaged with me, and she was very charismatic and seemed to know the same people that Chad knew that were in media, and just put herself off as a very God-fearing woman. And throughout this 24 hours, she did a lot of damage. She, these women that I had actually finally convinced to, not mess with these things, she had completely made them backtrack on that. And this was some stuff that I was unaware of. The next day, when it came time for her to be released, one of the other inmates said, "Well, before you leave, can you pray with us?" And she said, "Sure." And she looked at me and she goes, "But I want to pray for you first." And I said, "Okay." Because I was having a really hard time. I was having a really hard time being away from Chad. And so I sat down, and she stood in front of me, and a woman stood beside me, and she put her hand on my shoulder, and and I closed my eyes, and I was listening to her pray, and for the life of me, I can't remember a word she said. But and then I felt what I thought was her.
She asked your permission, though.
No, that's
okay,
not.
Okay,
no.
Okay.
What I thought was her put her hand on my head, and then it went from being just a gentle placing on my head to like a forceful pushing down. And then I'm thinking, okay, because then it's taken all the attention off of what she's saying, and I'm starting to get kind of irritated, because I'm thinking, okay, which one of these women has their hand on my head right now and is being forceful with me? And then she stops, and I looked up at her, and she goes, "Now, can I lay hands on you?" And I said, "Sure," because I didn't think anything of it. And that's when she laid her hand on my head, and everything went. I lost all memory of what happened at that point. And when I came to, I was in the recreation room that they would take people to play basketball and stuff. And I was in there by myself, and I was pacing, and I got on the button, and I called the guards, and they said, "Are you okay? Are you ready to come out?" And I said, "Yeah, what's going on?" And the guard told me, he goes, "Man, you were freaking out. You were freaking out. We don't know what's going on." I said, "I have no idea what you're even talking about."
I'm going to go stop.
And when I got back to the cell block, the woman was gone. She had been released. Well, I called Chad, and she put money on my phone.
Come on.
There it is.
That was weird.
I was turning my hotspot on real quick so we could reconnect, but it popped back on. Okay, so
Just a coincidence. Now, come on.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right. Okay, go ahead and
so
continue.
I called Chad, and
Hmm.
he was like, how are you calling me? And I said, this woman, Jennifer, she put money on my books so I could call you, and I start telling him about her and about her praying for me, and he goes, you didn't let her touch you, did you? Because he was already starting to suspect something of how weird this whole situation was.
Yeah.
And because I'm not thinking anything of it, I'm just, I try to have the benefit of the doubt in everybody and think, everybody has good intentions, but he knew, what to look for and what to watch out for. And I said, well, yeah. And he was like, well, do you feel different? Is anything, is there any issues? And I said, well, no. I told him about how I had forgotten about what had happened.
Hmm.
And so fast forward, I go home. I get released. I go home, and things started feeling different. Well, before I got released, I noticed I had all of a sudden had a bad temper. Anything was setting me off, and this one poor girl that was in there, she was the focus of
Oh
a lot
no.
of my anger, and she was actually the one that later on filled me in on what had happened when I blacked out. And so I started noticing things like I hated the dark, and we stop, Ringo, stop. And we had to take the dogs out to go potty. And where we lived, it was out in the middle of nowhere, no city lights, anything like that. So you had to have a flashlight.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of activity there too.
Oh yeah, very
Yeah,
active.
it was like on a Native American site that was ancient.
Oh.
Anyway, different story.
Oh, yeah.
But so we were walking the dogs, and my flashlight went out. And normally that would freak me out. I'd be telling Chad, "Give me your flashlight," or holding on to him. And I felt comfortable with it. And then I just kind of started walking out towards this field, and in complete darkness, and was completely comforted by it. It's like, okay, well, maybe jail hardened me. So we go home, and then the temper thing continued. And then one day, and I don't know if it's coincidence or what, but this woman had come over that was the girlfriend of one of our friends that was into some hardcore witchcraft.
With a dog.
And I don't know if something with her set me off or set it off. But I started I couldn't control what was going on with my body. I was making strange, like almost robotic, or I don't know, how would you describe that?
Like when somebody gets possessed, they the entity has to get a feel for being in a body. So it's like somebody behind the wheel of a car that doesn't know what they're doing. So she was moving for weird and very, very weird, unnatural. And by this point, I already knew what was going on, but I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, there's gonna be a good one.
Then to the point where I was actually like slamming my head into the wall, and he's like, babe, stop. And I'm like, I can't. I don't know what's going on.
A friend of ours was over. Remember Tony?
Oh yeah, hold on.
Okay.
I was hungry, and whatever was going on, it wouldn't let me eat. I was able to prepare my food and sit down with it, and as soon as I would scoop it with the spoon and go to put it up to my mouth, it wouldn't let it go any farther. It wouldn't let it into my mouth. And so I'm starting to get really weirded out. And and I had learned enough from Chad to know there was something supernatural going on here. And he had to take the dog out to go to the bathroom, and one of our friends was over, and he was witnessing this, and he was like kind of freaking out. And when they went outside, I guess Chad had his talk with him.
I said, she's possessed. And he's like, yeah. He goes, but you need me to do anything for you or help you? I said, no, you really don't need to see this. This is what, it's better. I appreciate it, but, better if you said this one out, So anyway, I already was prepared for what was going to happen.
And this was my time that I was in there coming to a realization of what was going on. Went in the bathroom, and I remember Chad saying that if somebody was possessed, they couldn't say, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And so I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I look closer, and my pupils were shifting the shape. Started looking like a plus sign, like a frog or goat. I mean, they were I was watching them change shape, and I'm like, looking closer, what is going on? And then I was like, okay, well, just say it. You can say it. And I opened my mouth to say it, and I couldn't. And it felt like something was choking.
Okay. All right, so we'll try different hot. Okay, we're gonna try a different internet source.
Okay.
Another coincidence. Anyway.
So, yeah, I was just thinking that I was psyching myself out. That this was all in my head, or just do it, Jennifer. Just say it, and I couldn't say it. It wasn't painful, but it was a very, very uncomfortable. I literally felt like I was being choked from the inside. And I came out of the bathroom just as Chad was coming in from taking the dog out, and I looked at him and I said,
"Well, you couldn't look at me. Remember before you couldn't. Remember that?
That was when I first looked at you. I was able to look at you when you walked in.
Okay, yeah, but you weren't. You were like having a hard time looking at me.
Yeah, after that I couldn't. I looked at him and I said, I need you to do me a favor. And he said, what's that? And I said, I need you to pray for me. And he said, yep, I already knew. And I just like flopped down on the bed, and then he was telling me to look at him, and I couldn't. I would either squint my eyes closed or turn my head off to the side, but no matter, every time I tried looking at him, it wasn't allowing me to look at him. And he'd say, babe, I need you to look at me. And I was like, I can't. And it became so frustrating, by then I'm crying and I'm not understanding why I can't even look at him. And then I hear him, he starts praying. And this was a prayer before he was going to get to work on me. And after he gets done, I was finally able to look at him, but I can't even describe how huge he looked to me. And I didn't even think about it until later on. I was telling him about it. I said, after you prayed, when I was finally able to look at you, you were huge. He just looked immense to me. And I don't know if that was just the intimidation for what was in me, saw him as this huge life form that was that was towering over him. But he's a little bit taller than me, but that's it. I mean, he looked huge, just immense.
Oh my goodness.
And at that point, I thought the whole thing lasted only about 15 minutes, but that was about 15 minutes that I was aware of what was going on. But it was an all-nighter.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was then part of it you don't remember though.
Right? I don't remember most of it.
Yeah.
There's some significant parts I remember, but
what's weird, and I'm not an exorcist. That's not part of my job. I don't do that. But
you didn't really have a choice.
Didn't have a choice that day. Both times I've ever done that, it's because I had no other choice. I think that I'll leave that up to the professionals, but at that point it was obvious that she was possessed.
Yeah.
And I was asking you, and you remember feeling part of the hatred though too.
There was one part that, like when these things would manifest, it was like I don't have any memory of it. I don't know what went on between them and Chad. I would kind of come out of it sometimes where he would be, like in my face, and I'd be like, "Why are you yelling at me?" And he'd be like, "I'm sorry, babe, and I'm trying to get these things out of you." And then I'd be, no memory again. And there was one point where I told him it must have been the point where I can only describe it as I became one with them at that moment, and it was right at the end of things, right? Wasn't it?
Or was that the beginning? I thought beginning of it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, time was of no use for me at that time. He had asked how many there were, and I remember looking at him and saying 1, 2, 3, and feeling the most inhuman, negative. I mean, it was like hatred to the max. I mean, there's no way that a human could feel these emotions. That's the only way I can describe it.
So you're saying they weren't a fan? Is that what you're saying?
No, they weren't.
They didn't like me?
Okay. No. I wanted to rip him limb from limb. There was nothing but hatred, just pure hatred, the most pure hatred that you could ever have, which I don't think that any human could be capable of that. And that feeling, I mean, it didn't stick with me, but the memory of that feeling was, I mean, it horrified me for forever. I still, every time I talk about it, I get goosebumps, and it's just an icky memory. And then I don't remember anything. Then it went black again.
But all in all, these entities really didn't put up much of a fight. I
had weenies.
The thing would just look at me, and your physical appearance will change when you're possessed, and
yeah, you said my eyes.
And the thing would go like that, like it was mad, and the whites would turn red on her eyes. Didn't say anything; it just would do that whenever I talked to it. But and then it really didn't put up much of a fight. It wasn't anything compared to the first experience like that. The first one was pretty. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe the first one. It was interesting to say the least. But this one here, I remember at one point I had the Bible, and I said, "What is this? Do you know what this is?" And I looked at it, and it goes, "The Word," which is interesting because that's what demons call the Bible, is they call the Word. And I put it in front of it, and I'm like, "Look at that for a minute. I'm going to go out here and smoke, and you need to look at that for a minute because you're in for a long night, bud."
Well, didn't you tell me not to move? And I put my hand behind my back.
Oh no! Yeah, I said, "I bind you in the name of Jesus Christ," and puts her head down, puts her arms behind her back like she's bound like that, and look down. I'm like, "Well, so
I just sat there like that."
All right, so what's the catch? But yeah, so anyways, everything turned out fine. Demons got evicted, and no
have you had any problems, like anything since then?
No, I've had
it's normal to have what they call aftershocks after somebody's possessed, like the entity will manifest to them, and that happened for a little bit, but all in all, it wasn't too serious. You can still say that Christ is your Lord and Savior.
Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
We're good.
Good.
I had that. Well, like I said, sleep paralysis moment.
Oh yeah. But that's a loophole that a lot of people deal with. Like the thing talking to you that one time. That's something but these little loopholes that the entities take advantage of.
Right.
Where they're like, there's moments where you're vulnerable, susceptible.
Yeah.
That happens. Yeah.
That was one time that Garrett was over.
Oh yeah, that was right afterwards though. Yeah,
it was like a year later.
No, it wasn't that long after.
It
was right after. Where I was talking, a buddy of mine was over, and you had been sleeping, and you were still sleeping, and something came about praying, and this sinister laugh came out of her, and I can't remember.
Woke me up.
Can't remember
the laugh
what all
that
happened.
came out of me woke me up.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, and it was not my laugh.
No, it's like, you can't pay attention to that. And he just got up and took off. He just stick around.
You guys scared him.
But that was the worst of it. I mean, all in all, it came out pretty good. But there's risks to this.
Yeah.
But
He was afraid to take me out on any investigation.
Well, I didn't want to
like that
expose
for
her
a long
to it.
time.
Right afterwards, because you're susceptible, I think, after that a little bit.
True.
And don't expose yourself to that stuff unless you have to.
So you go now, though, right?
Yeah.
You do. Okay.
Yeah, not all the time. I do probably about half the time.
Yeah.
But it's, like I said, I'm used to everything now, and I don't let.
Well,
I know my limitations, and I know the rules, and and I would never go off and try to do something on my own without Chad.
Right. Good.
So then it gets back to, you hear a lot about people that deal with this phenomenon. It takes part of them. I think I don't really see what's done that with me. I don't know if this is like something people are supposed to do. I'm not sure. The whole mystery of people ask me why I do this, and
yeah,
and I really can't answer that question, really, to be honest with you.
He's got a drive for it,
which is weird because
a hidden drive.
The thought of not doing it'd be easier if I didn't do it. I'd have less going on. But it's like that thought doesn't exist in my head. I can't even think about it. It's weird. It's bizarre.
Keep getting off camera.
I am. Am I okay? Oh, am I?
There you go.
Sorry.
There you go. You scooted over.
And we slide on this thing.
But yeah, it's like the thought that like I can't really even romance that thought. It's like it doesn't. It's really weird, hard to explain.
He's tried stepping away from it, and no.
Yeah, for whatever reason, and
well,
can't do it.
If you can help people, it helps you. I think.
I hope. Well, first I got to give all the credit to God.
Yes.
Above everything else. Yeah, but I think I've helped some people. I think. What do you think? Do you think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope so. Been part of the smallest tool involved. But anyways, it's been interesting 30 years. I mean, I got to say it's been not boring, that's for sure.
Not boring.
Yeah. Anything but yeah, so which the whole positive part of the paranormal, yeah, like I said, it's not what I do, but there's a lot of really fascinating aspects to this field and the research that we do.
Yes, there is.
You gotta tip your hat to everybody out there doing it.
Yeah.
Because it is not without sacrifice. I guarantee that.
Mm-mm.
And there's a lot that people don't see that we go through, and
it is.
People need to understand that this is a serious field of research. It's not. I mean, there's some people out there that are making us look bad. I know, but for the most part, what we do should be at least acknowledged, and some respect put on our names, and like what you guys do and stuff. It's a very fascinating field. I mean, this stuff is real for all you people out there that don't think it is. It's real, guarantee it. And
just because you
don't
think it is,
and there's a science behind it. So all you guys need to stop saying, "Oh, it's not non-scientific." It is scientific. We just don't know how to measure it yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I have this for you. Have you ever seen what we call the aha moment, when somebody actually experiences it their first time or realizes?
Oh yeah, that would be Brave Earl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember him?
Yeah.
How he apologized because behind my back he was making fun of what I did, and it's always like that. Though somebody has their own experience, or
that was pretty significant.
Oh, pretty significant. But anyway, he said, I'm sorry, man. He goes, I feel like an idiot for making fun of you for what you did. And
because he was coming to him for help.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But, I mean, first of all, number one, I wouldn't want to wish this upon anybody. Okay, this type of stuff that I deal with. Let's just, it'd be better if you can avoid that. And but it is real. I mean, it's these for people that think that this is all unvalidated. I mean, we got lots of evidence that proves it happens.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just people need to be careful out there.
They do.
And
And I believe some people are drawn to it's their calling. They're called to do it and help people.
yeah, I mean,
I really do.
Definitely Chad.
Yes.
a lot of things don't make sense. Like the instance with the there was another incident that was the complete opposite. That usually I do a negative stuff that's bad, but there was an incident where something happened that was that, and it was the thing that disturbed me the most out of everything that's ever happened to me. Is more positive the thing where I shouldn't be. Yeah, I shouldn't be here. Yeah, that was, and that just happened not too long ago, didn't it? A few months ago.
A few months ago.
Yeah, but there's an incident where, yeah, there's. You know when things happen? There's no. I mean, it was very bizarre, wasn't it?
Yes, very
Bizarre.
There was definitely some divine intervention.
There you go.
Definitely some divine intervention.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around it.
He shouldn't. He should be dead or.
Oh, I should be dead.
Or an amputee.
I should be dead. Yeah, I mean, no way, shape, or form. A couple times it happened like that. Like the time when I was smashed too on Christmas Eve. That was another time. It's out logging, setting chokers. I was smashed by a log.
That was not.
Oh no.
Last time.
Well, and that was pretty significant. But I can kind of rationalize that one and say, well, maybe the ground was soft, and maybe
we all make excuses. Yeah, when stuff happens.
At the end of the day, I look at it like this: I'm not any more important than anybody else. What decision? Okay, if this is any kind of divine force, what makes my life more important than the people down there where you're at?
Well, maybe you're helping people. Maybe that's it. That's the way I look at it. Maybe you're doing something good, and that's what you have to do. Just try. Yeah,
but I mean, in the long run of things, that's the part I have the most problem with.
Yeah,
I have the most problem with accepting.
I think we all have a. Yeah. That's just the kind of the way I have to look at it. That's the way it was meant to be.
This last incident really, I mean, it really messed with me. Like, I mean, it was like the thing that got me the most out of everything that's ever happened, right? Yeah.
Oh, I see it in her face. Yes, I see it.
But
he's
it wasn't negative. I mean, it was positive, but it's like well, it's just one of those things where I can't rationalize it. I can't really understand what happened, and which
he has a hard time accepting that maybe that there's just something real special about him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, special ed, there you go. Yeah. No, it's yeah, it's I don't know. I guess we don't know. I mean, we don't understand the bigger picture, I guess. So, we gotta leave it in somebody else's hands. But no, like I never. That's the first time that I really experienced something that you hear about people being protected, like talking about the dome over your house and all that. I know those things happen. I know they do happen, but it's the first time that I'd actually experienced that personally, and it was like it really, really shook me up pretty good.
Well, like when I was a medic, I would see people who just, you have no idea. How did they make it? How did they not? Right. Somebody sitting next to them got so much worse. How did it not happen?
Right.
You question it. But, through time, just maybe you'll, in your head, get to accept it and just.
Well, I mean, it was so, it was like, how would you explain it? It was so, no other explanation.
Yeah.
That I couldn't rationalize it away. And and I was pretty desperate too. But yeah, no, it's something that it was very few things are impossible.
Mm-hmm.
That you deal with impossible. This was impossible. There was no possible explanation for what happened. And that's what really, I mean, I couldn't explain it, even come close to explaining it. So anyway, all in all, that was pretty disturbing and interesting. I mean, interesting, I guess, but disturbed me. Like I said, all the evil stuff doesn't disturb me. It's that did. And
I just drew those pictures.
Oh, did you? That was at the same location as the wagon
cemetery
wheels.
where the wagon wheels and stuff.
But the demon hitchhiker was captured there.
Oh yeah, the demon hitchhiker that he played.
The thing in the back seat with us that we
played. Yeah.
That was captured here too.
At that same cemetery. I just sent you pictures
Okay.
that I took that night. Well, it's one picture that came up.
Okay.
I'll
it's hard for me to pop them up real quick, and we've got about 5, but maybe next week I can pop it up.
Is our hour already up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the clock going, oh, wow.
Wow, that's
never seems right.
That's pretty quick. Okay, then I guess we can say we're going to get our shit together. We're gonna start doing this properly. Okay.
Well,
and, and hopefully, pray that no other natural disasters or things hinder.
Sickness. Yeah.
There you go. It's all, have some smooth sailing for a while. What do you think?
Yeah. That would be nice. Everybody. Yeah.
So I guess do you have anything you want to say, Gwen? And thank you for coming on and
always.
Observing here.
I love to hear new stories. So, just hearing different things is awesome.
I got plenty of those, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And the other experience. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was going to say, maybe one day we will actually get in the same place in person and be able to.
We will do that for sure.
Hang out.
Yeah, we'll do that for sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But no, we don't know what's coming up for next week yet, but I will put a promo out as soon as we do.
Yeah, and we'll figure this out in advance what we're gonna do next week, and
there you go.
We'll get it to you, and it's been. I mean, I hope. Yeah, there's another. I got another story about possession that is not nearly as.
Mine was pretty boring.
Pretty boring compared to the other one. The other one was, it was a story for a different time, but
I still even have a hard time telling that story because as I'm telling it, I'm always wondering, do they think I'm full of shit?
Well, no, I appreciate you sharing it, and I hopefully somebody else out there will too. And it,
I guess
remember that woman that shared her story it was on another podcast, and it was like she had gone some of the same.
Yeah.
It was like my story.
Well, so people, I guess, the message is people need to be careful out there. If they get involved in this field, they need to be careful. There are things out there that want nothing but bad for you.
And look at what it took me. All I did was gave a woman permission.
That's right.
Not realizing that was open.
Well, and there's no specifics. There was no mention of a specific god. There was just God, which is a title.
Mm-hmm.
So the boogeyman's out there. You got to be careful. But for the most part, people, I mean, not like you walk down the street and get possessed, but I think what causes that is there's things out there that would like to do damage to me, and she was just a catalyst to. That was all to get to me. It wasn't really to. She was just a stepping stone to get there, and we know this because these things are very verbal about what they want to do to me personally.
Yeah.
So anyway, but then that's the most satisfying part of the job is when you hear something like that you're causing some kind of irritation or discomfort. That's enough motivation right there to keep doing it.
You're definitely messing with it, and it's not happy. Yeah.
No, well, I mean, that's good though. I hope so.
Doesn't make their job. It doesn't make their job very easy.
Oh, I've definitely screwed some stuff up for them. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Okay, well,
I'm glad.
Thank you.
You guys got anything planned for this weekend, as far as investigation or anything?
Oh, what for Halloween? No, that's at the end of the month. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Well, we can all. Okay, there's so many people that get a hold of me for cases that anytime we have the means, we can do something definitely.
Yeah.
So, we need to. We'll definitely need to plan some for Halloween. Yes. Maybe do some kind of a live show. I don't know.
Well,
you think it's over?
Let's look into it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Definitely talk about it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll definitely get something like that, something for Halloween. And as far as what's coming up, we'll let you know if we get anything going on.
Yeah, please do. Even if it's not showtime, let me know what's going on. That'd be cool.
Sure will.
All right, you guys. Well, we're coming up on an hour. Thanks everybody for watching or that come on and watch later, which we do have lots of those. And hey, you guys, be careful out there, no matter what you're doing.
Same with everybody else. Be safe out there and be safe down where you're at. And
oh yeah, you too.
Here's our other baby.
Oh,
babies. We love our pets here, so yeah.
Yeah, you gotta love the pets. All right.
Well, thank you guys, and
thank you.
Good to meet you. All right, you guys have a great night.
You too.
Thanks.
You too.
All right. See you next week, guys.
See you
All
next
right.
time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.